If somebody was listening to this and maybe they're moving country and they're getting a new job, would you encourage them to do this or not?
Oh, that is a great question.
We took one or two people with us and we had to state if we were blah, 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 or blah, blah, blah.
How did you rank yourself? Did you like to cook?
I have been a dormant chef for 10 years. Smelly food in the office kitchen. Can we get away with chicken, egg, fish?
Oh, this is great.
Chicken's all right, isn't it?
I don't think it's ever the chicken's fault. It's it's the sauce that done it.
Hello and welcome to the British English Podcast, the show that helps you better understand British English and British culture. And today we are discovering the culture within the workplace. We are going into the office, a place that I haven't been to since, 2015, maybe? That was the last time I was in an official office. So I needed some help, obviously, with that. And I reached out to Rob from the Business English Podcast. We share the same acronym, BEP. B-E-P. Well, both, yeah. So instead of the British English Podcast, it is the Business English Podcast. So we're going to talk about the workplace and specifically some embarrassing scenarios that might occur in the workplace. But firstly, Rob, how are you today?
I'm very well, Charlie. Thank you ever so much for having me on the podcast.
Absolute pleasure. Yeah. So where are you residing right now? We're online, but where are you in the world?
Yeah. Physically up in the north of England, which I think is classified as anything north of the Watford Gap to many people that live in London. Whereabouts are you again, Charlie?
I'm southwest. I'm in Tooting. So I'm in the south of England, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Definitely.
Now, the Watford Gap, can you tell us a little bit more about that?
Watford Gap, I think it's probably within an hour north of London, and anything north of this is classified as northern, apparently. So yes, I have apparently a plummy northern accent sometimes, but I will try to be on my best behaviour on your podcast today, Charlie.
That feeds into me having to make a public service announcement that any accent is a good accent. I do not distinguish between Queen's English and no accent allowed. No, so you're up north, according to you. Would you say that other people distinguish the north as the Watford Gap and beyond?
I think it's relative. For many, if you were potentially studying in Newcastle or have clients in Edinburgh, they would say that Watford Gap or even Sheffield, which is currently the city, I just live on the outskirts of Sheffield, is south, is still southern to somebody living in Edinburgh or Newcastle. So I think it's relative.
It is relative, yes. Sorry to butt in right now, mid-conversation, but you were just exposed to a lovely phrase, and I want to teach you that phrase properly. To do so, I've created a PDF covering the definition, example sentences, context in which natives use it, which is really valuable for you, collocations, meaning the words that natives use before and after a phrase, and then a couple of good quiz questions to help lock that phrase in to your long-term memory. With this knowledge, you will go from having heard a new phrase to being 110% confident in using it when speaking English yourself. And this PDF is not just covering one phrase, but 10 phrases from this very conversation. You can grab it by scanning the QR code on screen right now or clicking the link in the description box or the pinned comment below. That link will take you to this page. Fill out your name and email to sign up to my mailing list, and then I'll send it directly to your inbox. I went to university not far from you. I was in Nottingham Trent University.
Wonderful, yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Just near the Peak District. Did you go for a jaunt around the peaks at any point?
You know what? I don't think I did the whole time I was there, but I went another time when I lived in the south, so that was pointless. But yeah, the Peak District is nice. It's very nice. And I also went to the Lake District recently.
Oh, yes.
We just did a weekend trip from London, and it was
Yes.
just ridiculous. We were basically in the car for 2 days and did 1 day hiking. That was
Hiking,
it.
walking around. Did you sample the world famous Kendal mint cake?
Kendal mint cake.
It's basically a block of mint flavored sugar. So, and I think it's framed. The marketing department was working overtime. So it's for hikers that get stranded on the side of a mountain somewhere. And just before you slip into sort of hypothermia, you crack open Kendal mint cake, which will probably push you into a diabetic coma. So yes, Kendal mint cake. That's not a plug. I don't work for the company. It's just something you could be aware of if you visit the region.
I think I missed it. I've Googled it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't recognize it.
Right.
I missed a trick there. Yeah. Okay. So I'd like to ask you,
Yes.
what was the reason that you started your podcast, the Business English Podcast?
Great. We have sort of a rallying war cry, and it's for professionals that are suffering in office cubicles worldwide with their professional English, business communication, meetings, presentations, and to just have a consolidated audio effort that they can listen to on their commutes that's just specific for their interview or meeting that's coming up. So something slightly more targeted.
Yeah, nice. So let's get into an embarrassing scenario at the workplace. I thought one of the first ones we should do is the moment that you meet somebody, you might go in for a handshake, and there's a delicate act here, a balance between being too weak and too firm, or too eager, or too blasé, really, isn't there?
Yes. Yeah, absolutely. It's a fine line, as you suggested, too firm or too weak. For me, and this is a personal preference, Charlie, a strong handshake is non-negotiable. Like, it has to be this way. There are those that simply take the index finger and wave it slightly. This is not how I think it should be done. What's your take on this?
I think a firm handshake is good as well. Yeah, but I've met quite a few people that do really try to shake me down, and it's just a bit intimidating. But also, like, come on, who are you trying to impress, really?
Yeah,
with that.
Yeah, of course, of course.
But yeah, no, I try to give them a good handshake back in return. But another thing that I thought about that might come up later is who to give a handshake to, because in some situations it's not. I mean, in business, I guess it is, but I've gone in for a handshake before, and realised they didn't want a handshake. You know, there's certain settings where it was like, oh, didn't need to do that handshake.
Reading the room, I'm sure we're going to go around this boy several times today, but a rapid assessment of the room. I mean, there's a couple of hallmarks, like different genders potentially in different cultures. This may cause some cause for consideration, but I feel that within Europe, at least our region, UK, European Union area, more often than not, you should be fairly safe as long as you're reading the room. But you see, I mean, even some politicians, movie stars, you see them meeting each other, and it's like you say, so this aggressive handshake, or somebody offers their hand and the other person goes in for a kiss, and it's all just, chaotic.
Yeah, it is, definitely. And do you think you change your technique depending on the gender?
Personally, and I can only speak from personal experience, I would do. If the 6 foot Brazilian jiu-jitsu professional, of course I'm going to shake his hand or her hand differently to potentially female that is a ballet dancer from Eastern Europe, for example. I think there is a different style to be adopted. But back to my original point, reading the room is gonna help you a lot here.
Yeah. So if you're in a ballerina concert hall, more likely to go delicately. If you're in the middle of a UFC fight,
yes,
then you could go.
Yeah.
Is the phrase ham to leather? Ham to leather? Is that the phrase?
I'm gonna have to Google that. I'm drawing a blank. Ham to leather.
Hell. Go hell for leather.
Oh, hell for leather. Yeah, go hell for leather.
Where's
ballerina concert hall? Ham. You threw me. Ham to leather. That's new. I like it though. Go ham for leather on that.
Yeah. AI instantly corrected me. You know, even like the Google one, it said "go ham to leather" is likely a misinterpretation of the idiom "go hell for leather."
They heard it here first. You know, you heard it here first. People coined. You know, Charlie Baxter.
Exactly. Yeah, a turn of phrase by Charlie. So yeah, it means emphasizing speed and a potential recklessness towards your uncontrolled manner. Okay, so that's a handshake. Should we move on to another embarrassing scenario in the workplace?
Yeah. Awkward silences. I feel that these are, because it depends on where you are in the world, where your courage, your nerves of steel. It's like, who's going to speak first? You know, have you ever been in a situation where awkward silence is just ringing out?
Yes, and I don't know if this will come up later, but being in a lift or an elevator, I find that very uncomfortable because I don't know about you, but it tends to go silent in our culture.
Yeah.
I was in Chile for a while, and they would always say "ciao" on entry and exit.
Yeah,
and I quite liked that. Just just a little hello, goodbye, and I kind of missed that. But outside of the lift, yes, I think I personally quite like to have space to think. I'm a little bit more comfortable with that with friends, and I think they are a little bit more uncomfortable with silences than me. So I would probably outdo them if it came to a battle of who can last the longest in silence. What about you?
Yeah. Very interesting idea, you know, allowing the silence to just roll out so you can reflect on the previous conversation, on thoughts. But I know that it's excruciatingly painful. A lot of like people we work with, they are so quick to fill the silence because they don't want to come across as ignorant or rude, or they're not fluent. So there's this sort of urgency to say something, and on occasion may force an error. So actually just keeping that silence between you during a negotiation, a meeting, even a first meeting, I feel that silence is definitely useful.
Yeah, right. Talking of business, which is what we're doing. My
doesn't
wife
have to be.
my wife is going through some training with some sales calls for her business, and they were like, the silence is the biggest power play you can provide, because you're not letting them just sit back and let you pitch your ideas. You're actually letting them tell them what they want, which gives you the information you need to then build up why you are a good person for this product.
Yeah. This is the he who speaks first loses sales technique. Say the price and then don't say anything else, and just wait for the response. I've heard this before. Yeah, the use of silence in sales. Terrifying. Yeah.
And then if we hop over to Japan, I believe there's a culture in sharing a silence. There's a YouTuber called Chris Broad who does Abroad in Japan, very big channel. Okay. And he came on and he told me about when he came to Japan and he sat down with the headmaster of the school that he was teaching at. At the end of the interview, or like the briefing, he was silent for 30, upwards to maybe 45 seconds.
Wow.
And Chris didn't know what was going on then, but apparently it was sharing a silence. And it's a cultural thing where they feel like they get to know one another a little bit more if they share the silence. Anyone listening, if you're from Japan, this is completely wrong, do correct me in the comments. Spotify's got comments now. So yeah, tell me if that's not the case. But Chris said it, not me, so don't shoot the messenger. But yeah, I feel like in the UK we don't have this, do we?
Not so much, not sharing the silence. I think in many parts of the UK that I can think of, you would seek to eliminate silence fairly quickly, or at least not share it. I think it's a good technique to learn, though, is to be comfortable with silence. I've heard it taught many times that pausing before and after, because we have when you're doing a verbal briefing or you're speaking to somebody for impact, pausing before and after the main point, whatever that is, almost puts it in lights. You can't underline, you can't bold, you can't put things in italics when you're speaking. So the way in which many public speakers emphasize is by pausing before and after the key point. The best thing about the UK is fish and chips. You know, this sort of pause. It's like, well, okay, that sounded important, but yeah.
Yeah, that's nice. That's really nice. Yeah. The blank space or the ... You could almost you could almost put that in your mind. You could say fish and chips ...
Yeah, exactly. So pausing in professional scenarios, definitely I would do so.
Yeah,
but not always awkward.
No, and the pause can't be done at the end of a conversation, and like that's the last thing that you do, and you just drift off away from them.
Yeah,
I'm just imagining like being in the kitchen for lunch, grabbing something, and then you have a conversation, and then you just use the pause at the wrong time at the end, and then you just walk backwards out of the kitchen.
Walk backwards out. Yeah, exactly. Very, very awkward. A silence. So I think the awkward pause is it's a part of our culture, but not too much. Not like Japan, as you were saying.
Yeah, and I suppose that comes up in quite a lot of comedy sitcoms. The use of it to make it feel awkward and uncomfortable. Mm-hmm. We almost relish that kind of comedy sometimes, don't we?
Yeah, absolutely. Uncomfortable, squirming in your seats like this is so painful to watch. Yes, yeah. Why is that? Why do we like that?
I don't know. Yeah.
Maybe it's a Brit thing.
Yeah, but I know that it's very subjective because, my wife can't stand that kind of thing. I don't know about you. Do you enjoy it?
It's okay. It's okay. I'm not watching a lot of comedy at the moment, but yes, this idea of pausing and having awkward silences, maybe enough time for the audience to understand that it's a joke as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. Pause for the laughs.
Yeah. I guess this could kind of move on to not knowing how to exit small talk.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
So small talk, we're going to talk about that on your show. So we won't go into it specifically now, but I feel like I'm going outside of the office, but it still remains relevant. When I'm at a wedding and I'm meeting new people, and we go through the niceties of how do you know the bride or the groom, and what do you do maybe, and have you had a nice day, blah blah blah. Once you've kind of gone through those questions and answers, and you feel like there's just not the chemistry that either of you want for the continued evening.
Yes. Yeah.
It's important to have an exit strategy. And I've actually come up with one recently. And I'm sure
do tell. Do tell.
It's really simple, but it took me a while. Oh, I must just pop to the toilet.
That's a classic shirk. Yes.
Or maybe bathroom. Or restroom. What word would you use? Because you don't want to say too vulgar, too sort of physical.
Maybe the restroom.
Restroom.
Maybe tongue in cheek. You could. I need to powder my nose or something like this. As a guy, it's quite a strange thing to say. Talk to a man about a dog. All these things. But Just going to go to the toilet.
Yeah.
Restroom, I think, is good. Or washroom. Restroom sounds the best, I think.
Restroom. I saw that recently when I went out the other day. I did a guided tour, as in I was a listener, a walker round. What's it called? The person that listens to the guide.
Yeah,
the tourist.
Yeah, you're a tourist, yes.
Yeah.
In attendance.
Yeah, I was a tourist in attendance, doing a tour around London about the history of pubs. And I'm trying to remember what they said and put it into the
Trying
podcast.
to remember. And why is that? Is it difficult to remember after this pub tour?
Yeah, no, it was just a lot of information. But no, I was going to say I saw the word restroom in a lot of the pubs then. So it's a relevant keyword that we use in the UK, I guess. Yeah. But yeah,
yes.
I'm just going to pop to the restroom. Yeah. And then you can kind of, or go to the bar. I'm just going to grab a drink. But that, I feel like that's a little bit like I want more entertainment than you.
Yeah. Or it could be sort of leaving the door open. It's like, I'm just going to go to the bar. It's like, would you like anything? It's like, well, I think it's too close, too risky.
That's true.
No one's going to join you in the restroom, probably.
That'd be
so yeah, I'm just going to go to the restroom.
Oh, I'll come with you. Yeah.
Yes. Okay, we can continue this conversation.
Yes. So we're actually going to leave the free version of this conversation here for today. The full episode is available for premium podcast listeners or members of my academy. To learn more, you can go to thebritishenglishpodcast.com. But if you're not interested in doing that, then remember to get the free PDF that helps you go from confused about the advanced language that came up in this episode to completely confident to use them yourself next time you're speaking English. To get that, scan the QR code on screen right now or click the link in the description box or the pinned comment below. And if you're wanting another video to watch right now to improve your English, then I reckon you'll love this one on screen right now. So, see you in that one.